Commission imposed a record fine against Google for unfair trade practices. But the fine raises a much larger question over the business practices of some of the biggest technology companies in the world. Many fear that large user growth for these companies would lead to the monopolization of the markets, the dangers of which are much bigger. Here's a report.
The European Commission's decision to fine Google $2.7 billion dealt a big blow to the technology giant. Google's shopping service was under investigation since 2010, but this verdict has opened a window into deeper concerns over the practices of some of the biggest technology companies in the world. The European Commission has been concerned over the growing market share of the big four of tech: Apple, Google, Amazon and Facebook. Apple is facing a probe for its tax deal with Ireland. The European Commission had fined the company, but Apple has appealed against the decision. Facebook was fined for misleading the Commission over its WhatsApp merger. Online marketplace Amazon is under probe for its tax deal with Luxembourg, while Google is facing 2 more investigations for unfair trade practices. But it's not just about the business. Technology companies are known for playing fast and loose with ethics. Broke your iPhone? Well, only Apple has the right tools to fix certain issues with their devices. Social media giant Facebook is known to collect your data from across its range of services to deliver advertising. Amazon places cookies or small text files on your computer to track your activity on the web. Just like Facebook, Google also knows what you are up to. Why? For advertising, of course. The Google case is not the first time the European Commission has locked horns with the technology giant. The fine is just a drop in the ocean for Google, but the concerns over the practices of these companies reflect a larger issue and puts the end consumer at risk. Bureau Report, WION.
Now, I'm joined by Ankit Tuteja. He's my technology correspondent. Ankit, does Google operate in a similar fashion in India? And if that is the case indeed, is there anything India can do?
Yeah, Padma, of course, Google in the past also has been accused of such anti-competitive practices in India as well. It was back in 2012 when matrimonial site Bharat Matrimony accused Google of anti-competitive practices in the country. And of course, we have a fair trade regulator as well, the Competition Commission of India. And according to Section 4 of Competition Act 2002, it talks about the use of dominant position by a market leader. So in the past, Google has been accused and alleged of anti-competitive practices in India, and the investigation is on. So the investigation arm of the Competition Commission of India came out with a detailed report in 2015, and ever since then the verdict is pending. So it's under probe, yeah, in India as well.
Ankit, can you break it down for us? You know, we're hearing of all these big amounts for which Google has been sued. But how do malpractices like these actually affect us, you and me, ordinary consumers and subscribers on a day-to-day basis?
So, for example, talking about the case in India that was filed against Google a couple of years ago, it was accused of using its AdSense platform. So what it does, the AdSense platform allows advertisers to bid for certain keywords. For example, there is a word like buy used new cars. So for example, a company say Maruti buys that word. So every time that keyword is entered into the search field, Maruti's ads will pop up. So in that way, Google is exploiting its dominant position in the market, and the search results of a particular company are appearing on top of the search page. And in this case, for which it has been slapped with a fine of $2.7 billion in Europe, it was using its position to giving favor to its shopping service. So yes, Google in the past also has done that, and it's continuing with the same practice.
That was my colleague Ankit Tuteja, technology correspondent for WION from the newsroom. Thank you very much, Ankit, for joining us. We're going to take a short break, and there'll be more stories on the other side. Don't go away.